everyone, welcome to the second episode of That's What Geeks Do. My name is Chris Lee.
And my name is Jockton.
And we're super excited to be back. Thank you everybody who listened to our podcast last week.
Yes.
We're glad that you enjoyed it because we really did enjoy it. And we're going to have a little bit of more fun today. This podcast is going to be just a little bit longer since we only have one new episode of WandaVision, which we're going to be talking about later in this episode. We're also going to be talking about several other things that we're excited about. But first off, how are you doing, Justin? How was your week?
My week has been very productive, actually. I've been writing a lot, and I have a crazy idea, which I'm going to talk about later, maybe in a future podcast.
Oh,
but
okay.
I'm going to do something pretty awesome and crazy by the end of this month. So I'm pretty excited. So I'm doing good.
Okay. That's great. I have no clue what you're talking about, so
yeah, well,
I'm excited to know about it.
Yeah,
I'm excited. Well, all right. So we're just gonna go and jump into a new segment we would like to call "Getting Our Geek On," if you may, where we just talk about several things, pop culture related or entertainment related, that we're just excited that happened this week, or things that are to come in the future. We just want to talk about it for a minute. So I'm just gonna go first. Real quick, and I'm gonna talk about music. I love and adore music, and I just want to mention two songs that came out in the past week. One by Selena Gomez and Billie Eilish. Now, I'm not a big fan of Selena Gomez. I don't hear her music often, but she released a song called "De Una Vez," which is a Spanish song. We all know that she's... Yeah, it's a Spanish song. We all know that she's Latina, but I don't think she's ever done a song where she sings in Spanish. Again, I don't follow her, so I'm not sure if she has. But this is a new song of hers, and this is Spanish, and I really enjoyed it. Like, I wasn't really sure what I was expecting. But it was a fun, short song. It's about 2.5 minutes long. And it's about her going after the breakup, where she realizes that she will be all right. She'll be better. She's once and for all. That's the literal translation of "de una vez." She's gonna grow, be her own person, and move on, and that's great. And the reason why I'm also mentioning the new Billie Eilish song, because first of all, I'm a huge fan of Billie Eilish, featuring Rosalia. Or Rosalia.
I think it's Rosalia, yeah.
Rosalia, yeah. I think she's from Spain, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, from Spain.
So they just did a song together, and it's also in Spanish. There's some English verses there, but Billie Eilish is singing in Spanish, and it's called "Lo Vas a Olvidar."
Wow.
And it's so I was just super excited about that because I love Billie Eilish, and to hear her sing in Spanish is super exciting because she could have done it in English, her parts, and then have Rosalia do it in Spanish. But no, she said, "I'm gonna do it in Spanish because Spanish is dope."
That's really crazy. I'm not, I don't follow actual music right now because the music that I listen to are very old. Mm-hmm. But I've been seeing a lot of collaboration with, artists from the States with artists from Latin America or Spain, and they're doing a lot of Spanish songs, which is kind of exciting, really, because
it really is. And like I said, Selena Gomez, she's Latina. I don't know what race exactly. So her Spanish was pretty good. I'm sure she knows how to speak Spanish, I guess. And then Billie Eilish obviously doesn't know Spanish at all, but she also sounded great.
Yeah.
And it is exciting because it's the same as The Weeknd did a remix with a song from Maluma, which is also a Spanish singer, and The Weeknd sings in Spanish in that song. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess I'm just excited whenever an American singer sings in Spanish with Spanish artists. I don't know. That's just exciting. That's what I wanted to share. You all should check it out. Selena Gomez, De Una Vez, and Billie Eilish featuring Rosalia, Lo Vas a Olvidar. There you go.
That is pretty awesome. So, my first thing, I want to talk about the pictures that came out from Mortal Kombat.
Oh, dude.
Dude,
Yes.
I wasn't as excited, and then I saw the pictures, and I was like, okay, I'm a little excited. This is pretty cool. And I remembered, I actually, it gave me a nostalgic feeling. I started to think about the old movies, right? And I was
Yeah.
like, I mean, I enjoyed the last movies. I know they were not good, but they were entertaining. So I think that's my hopes for this new movie. I hope they're entertaining. If they're good, even better. But
I
I
mean,
think,
we really hope it's good.
yeah. I think it's gonna be, I think it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be really good. I like what I saw. I mean, my favorite character is Scorpion, and I
Yes,
hope
of course,
they
yes.
do him justice, because
What's,
he's a
what's
lot more deeper than we think.
Yeah, and he. What's funny about this with this movie is that it came out of nowhere. Like apparently, it was announced a while back, but I
Yeah.
had no idea that it was even a thing until like a couple weeks ago when HBO just dropped it out of nowhere in one of the trailers.
Yeah, so like, hey, by the way, we're doing this. Boom.
You're like, wait, what? And it comes out in April, right?
Yeah, like and you can see it in HBO Max if
Yeah,
you can't go to the movies, right?
which we're gonna talk about in just a minute.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is exciting. I saw the pictures, and from what it looks like, the characters look like they're video game characters. Um, Someone said that it looks like a student film, which to an extent, that's not a bad thing because they're keeping it grounded. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I don't. I
Um,
don't. I would like to talk about that later because I think it's gonna be a long thing. But what does it mean? Because a lot of people use that term as a bad thing, and I don't think it's a bad thing.
I
Like,
guess
I don't
essentially
know.
what they would mean is that it looks low budget. I feel like I
Maybe.
feel
I
I
mean, I know. Like, I'm pretty sure they didn't have like a huge budget. Like,
no, but I'm sure they didn't have like $100.
no, of course. I mean, like,
Yeah,
I
so
know how $100 movie looks. That
yeah.
doesn't look like $100 movie.
But I'm assuming that's what people mean, which I personally don't see it. Like I see it more kind of as an indie film to an extent. Like it doesn't look Hollywood-ish. I mean, we've only seen
Yeah,
pictures. We haven't seen the trailer. But I'm still
that's true.
interested in it and I'm excited for it. So yeah, awesome. So I wanted to share real quick, which I'm super excited about, is we have a director for the Last of Us HBO series.
Yes.
Now, I am a huge fan of The Last of Us. I played the first one when it came out, literally like what 9 years ago. I think it was 2013, I believe. And then the sequel came out. The Last of Us Part Two came out last year, and I played it as well. But what's funny about the Last of Us live action adaptation thing is that when the first movie came out, they announced that they were working on a movie. And again, this was about 9 years ago. So it's been a lot of back and forth. And it's been on the development hell for the longest time. Um, in terms of like, what are we doing with this property in terms of like the adaptation? Like the second game came out before a movie or a series. And games usually take a lot longer. But yeah, so The Last of Us is coming to HBO as a series, and they just chose they just picked the director, and his name is, I'm gonna butcher it. I'm sorry,
Yeah, I think it's from Russia.
Kantamir Balagov.
Yeah, I think it's
Kantamir Balagov.
Balak? I don't
Is
know. I
that?
think he's from Russia.
Yeah, it sounds like it is. But he directed the movie Beanpool, which is a World War II centric movie, and it was critically acclaimed. He was nominated for an Oscar for it, and he was chosen because of his artistic eye and attention to detail. And apparently, he's also a huge fan of The Last of Us. But that's essentially all we know. We know that several characters from the game will be coming into the series, as well as the amazing composer of the music, Gustavo Santaolalla.
I love him. I love his music.
The soundtrack is amazing, and he's going to be the composer for the series as well. So
Yes.
we don't know much of anything. We don't know exactly which parts of the game they're going to adapt, or if they're going to do the entire game.
Yeah, I was reading that he wanted to use this series to not to cut or tell a different story, but to expand the story of the game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds great to me.
Yeah.
And I'm glad they also picked, essentially, and he's an unknown director to me. You know what I mean? So like, I'm glad like I'm gonna see a completely original piece of work from a director I've never like seen before, and I'm excited. There's still no release date, but please, if it means that it's gonna be good, then take all the time you need.
Yeah, we can wait. I mean, we've been waiting for it for so long. We can wait longer.
But I wouldn't mind waiting just a little bit longer. Well, at least we know that it's happening, and that alone makes me geek out, if you may. So, what do you got?
I want to talk about this docuseries I've been seeing. I haven't finished it yet. I know the story, but recently, I think last week, if I'm not mistaken, Netflix released a docuseries called Night Stalker: The Hunt of a Serial Killer, which talks about the killings of Richard Ramirez. Right, he notorious serial killer who did horrible things, and kind of said, "I'm doing the devil's work," but
Oh, that's nice.
So yeah. So, but what I like about this docuseries is that we're seeing it from the perspective of the detectives, and that's the first time I'm seeing his story from this perspective, and it's very haunting.
So you're saying, I'm sorry. So you're saying usually it's from the detective, but this time it's from his point of view?
No. I've at least on him on the Night Stalker, I've seen his story from just investigations, normal, like, he did this, he did that. But we're seeing this docuseries, we're seeing how the detectives started to follow him and what they went through. And
gotcha, okay.
Yeah, so it's like a more humane take, and it's very haunting because these people are getting affected. They get affected. We don't see this as much as it used to be back then, right?
Right.
But and I haven't finished this, so I can't tell you like, oh, this is what I think of it. And I don't think I haven't even seen the worst part yet.
Are you enjoying it so far?
I am. It's very good. It's very well directed, and the information you get is very. I mean, if you like serial killers, when I mean to say, if you like, not that I enjoy them, but if you like to know about how they work and how it happens, you would probably know who Richard Ramirez is and the things he has done to the poor people, right?
Yeah.
But you're seeing it now from a more, I guess, rational perspective, because they're these detectives that they are alive. I thought they were dead for some reason, and this didn't happen so long ago. This happened in the 80s, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
And so the detectives are alive, and they were like talking, and said this must be so horrible to like relive these experiences.
I can't even live it the first time around. I don't.
Yeah, I don't even want to talk about 2020. and I think they also have like survivor victims, which is pretty amazing.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, I if you like true crime stuff, I think you should check it out, because it's a very good take on the Night Stalker, that's how it's called, the Night Stalker. And yeah, I've been hooked on that a lot. So that's one of the other things I'm geeking.
It's funny because a lot of people are into serial killers.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I feel like in the past few years, I've heard a lot of my friends just talk about how they listen to like serial killer podcasts, or like the series, or like the Ted Bundy thing. I think that was with Zac Efron, right?
Yeah, the movie. Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's just people are just either fascinated or like towards it, and some of them are even attracted to the serial killers.
Which I think is horrible. Why?
I personally don't get it. I also don't necessarily like. I guess depends on how the show or whatever I'm listening to that is about serial killers. I guess depending on how it's delivered, I might enjoy it, but for the most part, it's not for me.
Yeah, and when you think I mean, I do it because I'm a horror writer, and this is for me.
Yeah, no, like, it makes sense. Like, I get that for you.
Yeah, but it's not that like I'm smiling. Like, just to clarify, I'm not smiling when I see this. This is horrifying. But
No,
I
yeah,
like to,
for sure.
yeah,
It's
I like
intriguing.
yeah, but I do like in my personal take. I like to see it just to see how why this happened, how does it work, and it's so different and it's sad in many ways. But I
Yeah.
do not understand. I agree with you. I do not understand how people are like, I love serial killer, I love Tim Bundy, or I love Edmund Kemper, or whatever. It's like, do you mean you're fascinated by their minds and how they work, or do you mean you love them as in
Yeah.
bodies with them? Because that's messed up.
But hey, you do you. You know what I mean? If you
Yeah,
enjoy
yeah,
it,
yeah.
and
We're not here
if
to
it
judge
makes
here.
sense to you,
Yeah, yeah.
by all means, just
Go
don't
for
follow. Don't follow their footsteps.
Yeah, I mean, I'm here telling you, watch the docu-series. So,
You'll
I mean,
be
you should watch.
inspired.
If you like it, watch
No.
it.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
So next, I just want to talk real quick, and this is gonna be the last bid, unless you're telling me you have something else after this.
No, I'm good for now.
Okay, so HBO Max. Let me tell you something about HBO Max. HBO Max is pretty great. When it came out, I wasn't interested in it just because, I have Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus.
Yeah.
I'm paying a lot more for streaming than I would for cable by this point.
I think it's even better, but whatever.
Yeah. So I was like, I don't need another streaming service. But there's a lot of great things that HBO Max has been providing and provides that other streaming services just don't.
Yeah.
And one of the huge things, because this is huge for entertainment in general, is that for this year, movies that are coming out on the big screen in theaters is also coming out on the same day on HBO Max.
Yeah.
Which has never been done before. Obviously, it happened last year, where they were trying a few things here and there. But for the movie to just come out for free on the same day, let me clarify, after 31 days, you would have to pay for it. But for the first 31 days on HBO Max, these movies, these big budget, Warner Bros. Specifically movies, are going to be for free. We saw that last year with Wonder Woman 84. And that was amazing. We're still in a pandemic. I don't know if you know.
Yeah. It's not done. We still have the COVID.
Yeah. But it's amazing to have that opportunity and that option, that we want to see these big movies. We want them to be released already, but we can see it in the comfort of our home. And I just want to share the movies, some of the movies, not all of them, that are coming out this year on HBO Max, where you can see essentially for free, obviously, if you pay for the subscription. But we have Godzilla vs. King Kong, which I'm super excited about. The trailer for that comes out on Sunday. We're going to have Space Jam 2 with LeBron James. We're going to have Mortal Kombat, as you mentioned earlier. We're going to have The Matrix 4. Oh my gosh. The Matrix 4, my dude. We're going to have A Quiet Place 2. Tom and Jerry, which I'm excited about. We're going to get into that in a minute if we must. The reboot, technically, of Suicide Squad. In the Heights, Dune, and The Conjuring, I believe 3 or 4.
Yeah.
But that's just some of the movies that are coming out on HBO Max at the same time as theater, and I'm super excited about. It's just exciting. I don't have to go anywhere. I can see it at home. I
mean, we're living in different times. I kind of knew this was gonna happen eventually. I didn't know it was gonna happen so soon. I guess because of the COVID, also, right? And I know a lot of people are seeing it as a negative way, and I get it because there's a whole industry that might get hurt by this. But it's not like Chris said. It's not like it's gonna be forever. And some people are still gonna prefer watching it on the movie theaters. Yeah. But for those who don't feel safe yet to go out, this is a nice option, and that's why I like it. I generally like the HBO Max subscription because they have so many movies that I cannot watch anywhere else. Like I love classical movies, and they have one of the great catalogs where I could see Eraserhead, or I could see one of my favorite horror films, Eyes Without a Face, and they have it there. They have it there, and I don't have to like. I mean, I bought it anyways, but but some of these movies you can only find in their Criterion collection, which is they're very expensive. They're like $40 a movie, and but they're beautiful collections, anyways. But HBO Max have these movies, and they have other great movies, and they have great series, and I think they already put the old cartoons from Cartoon Network, if I'm not mistaken.
Man. Oh my gosh.
Come on, Ed and Eddie,
Powerpuff Girls, Scream Adventures. It's all there.
And that's just I think HBO Max, it's worth it. $14.99 a month for all of that. You pay way more for cable.
And now you're gonna have right now. And now you're gonna have blockbuster movies.
And you're gonna have blockbuster movies for you have 30 days to see it. I think it's a good deal, and I have Netflix, I have Hulu, I have Amazon Prime.
That's Shudder. I also have too many streaming services, but they all provide something unique. But going back to the movies, what's funny is that they released the trailer about all these movies coming to HBO Max, I believe last year, and they just threw in there The Matrix 4 out of nowhere. We haven't heard anything except the fact that they were gonna do it, and now, dude, The Matrix franchise is one of my favorite franchises of all time. The Matrix is one of my top 5 favorite movies ever, and the fact that I'm gonna see it at my own home is just insane to me, and I'm super excited. But I'm also obviously excited for King Kong, Space Jam 2 with LeBron James, which is
it's so crazy.
Something I never thought I'd say. Tom and Jerry, which is a live action, but Tom and Jerry are still cartoons, and they're essentially taking the cartoon world into the real world. I'm excited. It seems like a lot of fun. Obviously, we have In the Heights for all those musical
I'm excited
out
for
there.
In the Heights.
But yeah, no, it's just super excited. Amazing that it's happening, and I just can't wait. And we're obviously going to review every single piece of movie that comes out this year, especially from HBO Max, because we don't have to pay anything for it.
Yeah, we only pay $14.99 a month. HBO Max, please sponsor us.
Yes, please. HBO Max, send us money, and if we could see the movies a week early, that'd be great. Thank you.
Yes, we can put a good word. I mean, whatever. No, but it's exciting. I really do. I think it's worth having. Just without that amazing fact that we can see these blockbusters, I think it's still worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because they have many things that I don't think you can find in any other streaming service.
Yeah, no, no other streaming service is doing this right now, where they're releasing the movie in theaters and on the streaming service for like. I'm gonna keep saying for free, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So that was it for Let's Get Our Geek on there.
Yeah.
That was exciting, man. I just love talking about things obviously that
that's what geeks
hyped.
do, you know.
Yeah, it makes me like look forward to things. So 2021 seems to be the year where entertainment. So now for the main event, WandaVision, episode 3, my dude.
Yes.
We're in the 70s now, so small review without spoilers, real quick. I really enjoyed this episode. I must admit it was a bit slow at first. Like I was hoping that we would more things would come out. But
I agree.
But and some of it did, but I still enjoyed it, and obviously. Watch it. Like it's definitely an episode to watch to then continue watching the series, because again it's gonna come out piece by piece. It was definitely just a little bit slow this episode, but I didn't mind at all. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. It was a bit slow. I was like, okay, I get it. The 70s, another decade. But I just want to see more of what's going on, and we saw it. It got a little bit slow at first, and I was like, okay, just hurry up. But I did enjoy it. I did enjoy it anyways. I love seeing these two people interacting with each other. And
definitely. So please go check it out if you haven't. And now we're gonna get into the spoilers and a small recap of what happened in this episode. So the episode is the third episode, and as we've seen so far, the first episode was in the 50s, the second one was in the 60s, this third one is in the 70s, and it's obviously the 70s. Like, is now the style isn't like a 70s sitcom, and they even have a 70s opening, and they even had like words to it. Like, it was an actual theme song. Where was the first two were just WandaVision, and this one had like a verse, if I'm not mistaken. I was half asleep watching it because I had just woken up. But it was still pretty fun. But this episode essentially revolves around Wanda being pregnant.
Yeah, she being pregnant and getting bigger by the minute, and Vision,
literally,
Vision being crazy about it, not understanding the situation.
It's definitely an episode, and that's essentially what the entire episode is. It just involves around this one thing, which is their pregnancy.
Yeah.
So a few things do happen, that just show you that there's more to it than meets the eyes. And the first thing that happened was that Vision went outside, and we saw Herb, one of the neighbors. He was cutting the grass with one of those drills. Mm-hmm. Not the grass, the bushes or whatever. The tree, yeah. And then Vision looks back, and then he's cutting through the wall.
Yeah.
Like, it seems like it's a glitch of sorts. Like, Vision's like, "Hey, you're cutting through the wall," and then he's like, "Oh, I believe I am." And you're like, "Wait, like, why are you doing it? Like, what? Like, are you aware that you're doing it? Do you have control over it? Like, what's happening?" So that was pretty, like, creepy. Again, whenever, like, the show starts going into that this ain't real vibes, it gets just creepy.
It does get creepy, which I love. I hope they do a little bit more of it next episode. And I do have a question, because in that time he seems that he's not aware of things, but then later, when he's with I forgot her name, when Herb is with the woman, I forgot her name. I'm so bad with names.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah, they're like talking, right? And then Vision is like, "What's going on? Or that you guys know there's something wrong? What's going on? Tell me."
Yes,
but they don't want to tell them for some reason.
But just closer to the beginning of the episode, Vision walks in, and then he starts. I believe Wanda's like, "We can let them know our secret," and then Vision's like, "But wait, there is more to it, isn't it?" Like, he starts, realizing it. Like, he starts being, like, he questions Wanda of it, which is so weird. I thought that there was something wrong with my TV, which is funny because that's like the whole gimmick. But essentially, he questions Wanda about it, and then Wanda has this stare on her face, and then it just pops back like
a
minute
cut,
before he says that. Yeah, like a cut. Literally, it cuts back to Vision right before he questions it, and then he says something completely different, which gives again the intention that Wanda seems to be the one behind this.
Yeah, I think either that, or I think she doesn't kind of know where she is, but she knows at the same time. I don't know, because I'm confused, because I think she is responsible for so many things, but at the same time, it's like, I don't think she knows the people that are outside, if that makes sense. Because
it doesn't, and this show doesn't make sense at all yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
But during the whole bit of her being pregnant, every time she screams or she goes into labor, her power starts coming out and everything.
Yeah.
And we even had another commercial about soap, which is Hydra soap.
Yeah, it keeps telling you, like, hey, Hydra has a lot of power in the American industry, you know.
But, yeah. Oh, wait, I didn't even think about it that way. What if Hydra was a thing for years, but they didn't use their name on brands, did they?
I mean, maybe they did. We just we never really saw that.
That's so curious.
In the other movies, like, because Hydra was a secret organization, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm pretty, like, it could make sense. Like, maybe that's a way of either I don't know. Like, I don't know. It's weird. But
also, they might be referencing Hydra a lot because Wanda was she got her powers from like Hydra. Like Hydra imbued the scepter, like the mind jam, into Pietro and Wanda and gave them the power. So I feel like that's why they're mentioning Hydra a lot.
That also could be.
But so the episode goes on with more pregnant hygienes until we get to the point where she starts giving birth. And she gives birth to 2 baby boys.
Yeah, to Tommy and Billie.
Tommy and Billie, yeah. Because during the episode, they were like not debating. Vision wanted Billie, Wanda wanted Tommy. And then they got both of them, which is, exciting, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Are they real?
But then we get to the point. Yeah. Yo, go ahead.
No, I think it is interesting because the question is now, I think, how much control does Wanda really have and why? Because I was thinking maybe because she knows Vision is actually dead, right? Like, Vision is dead. Spoilers. Like, he died horribly. Twice.
Yeah.
So, like, that's horrible. Like, I think she knows Vision is dead and she wants it because she doesn't want to cope with, the real life, I guess.
It has to be like a traumatic thing.
Yeah. So she's like, nope, I want this. This is what I want. I don't care if it's fake. This is my world. But she knows there's also something wrong. She doesn't want to admit it. Yeah, she wants to live in this fantasy world. But some of the other people are aware, but it's not aware of oh, we're controlling you. It's like, no, we're here. We can't, the doctor said, we can't. It's really hard to escape from here.
Yeah, he says, I have it here. Small towns, it's hard to escape, and and he says it so ominous, and then Vision's like, what? Yeah, haha, you can't escape small towns. And that's when he meets with Herb and their other friend, and then and then they start talking about this character that's introduced in this episode. Oh no, wait, was she in the last episode?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so they start talking about Geraldine. Which, if I'm not mistaken, I heard, I don't know if this is true, but she's the little girl from Captain Marvel.
Yeah, I heard something like that, actually.
I heard something like that. If for anyone who sees Captain Marvel, Captain Marvel's best friend's daughter, she's apparently grown up, and this is her. We're not sure about that, but I heard it once. I don't know if it's true. So apparently, Herb and their other friends start talking about how she is not she's new and she doesn't have a home, and then they apparently know why she's there. But they don't say anything about it. But they're trying to warn Vision about her. And while that's happening, we cut back to Wanda with her and the babies, and then they mentioned how the boys are twins, and then Wanda's like, I had a twin once. His name was Pietro. Which is great because we've never heard her talk about Pietro since he died.
Yeah.
Not even in Avengers, in Civil War, she never mentions him ever. This is the first time she actually mentions him, which is nice that we're finally hearing about him again because they were twin brothers or siblings. So she mentions that, and then Geraldine, she says, "Yeah, Pietro, he was killed by Ultron, right?"
Like, holy shit!
And then you're like, wait, whoa.
That was whoa, espérate, wait,
yeah.
Ultron? You're gonna say that in front of her?
And then, but it definitely seems like she didn't mean to say it. Like she was like, it kind of came to her. Because she has a moment of wait, Pietro, yeah, he was like Ultron. And then Wanda's like, what did you say?
What did you just say?
And it didn't sound like, it didn't sound like, oh, who's Ultron? Or like, what are you talking about? It sounded like, you're not supposed to know this kind of thing.
Yeah, like, who are you for real? Like,
yeah, and then she was questioning, like, who are you? and she keeps it keeps going, and then Geraldine like steps back. She steps back, and then she's like, but let's talk about the baby. So like, let's change the subject, kind of thing. But Wanda keeps questioning her, and then when Vision walks in back to the house after their friends were no help, they didn't say anything.
Yeah.
She's gone, and then Vision asks, where is she? And then Wanda's like, oh, she had to go. She was in a hurry. But then we have this close up of Wanda's face of like, she did something.
Yeah, it's evil face. That was an evil face.
Yeah, that was definitely, because it was like a low angle and it was like closing into her, and she had this monotone like expression of like, she went away. and I was worried because I thought we were gonna wait till the next episode to see what happened to her. But no, like right then the aspect ratio changes to widescreen because we were in the 70s aspect ratio. And then we see this what seems to be like old abandoned place. And
yeah,
it
like
says,
a field, like a...
Yeah. It says west side, like a billboard says west side of the town they're in.
Yeah.
And then she's like pushed out, like what seems to be like a force field of sorts, and she falls into the grass, essentially back into the real world. And this is
yeah, it's like holy. And then people are coming in like with the guns. It's like, wait, but are you gonna save her, or are you what?
Yeah,
I'm still so confused. There's no answers yet.
And that's it. Like, that was like the juice of the episode, if you may. Like, she's kicked out with what seems to be, like again, like I mentioned on the last episode, it seems to be like the Truman Show. It's this dome sorts. This is like this facility where they're in this fake world, and she was literally yeeted out of there.
Yeah.
And yeah, we still don't know. Oh, wait. You remember on the last episode you were like, oh, I don't know what the symbol is.
Yeah,
but
she has a necklace of it.
On her necklace is sword.
It's a sword, right? But what?
The company is sword, my dude.
Sword?
And as a geek, I'm gonna pretend like I know what that is, but I'm actually just gonna Google it.
Okay, good.
Because that's what geeks do. No, so Sword is essentially like another type of organization, in the Marvel comics, and I don't know much or anything about it except that, but they're involved with it somehow. Okay. It says Sword is a fictional counter-terrorism and intelligence agency appearing in American comic books published by Marvel Comics. So we seem to just have a new organization in the works here. Like, we had SHIELD, we had Hydra, we had the Avengers themselves, and now we have SWORD, which is an acronym too. I'm trying to figure out what it stands for. So SWORD was originally an offshoot of SHIELD, but since the departure of Nick Fury as director of SHIELD, relations between the two organizations have been strained. The head of SWORD is Special Agent Abigail Brand. Its primary command and control headquarters Space Orbital Space Station known as the Peak. So, again, I'm not gonna say much about it because I don't know much of anything about it. Its purpose is to deal with extraterrestrial threats to world security, and it's the space-based counterpart of SHIELD, which deals with local threats to the world. Whatever that means. But it's exciting that we finally have, like, I guess, a name to who's potentially behind all of this. And we're obviously going to know a lot more of it as we go on. But that was essentially the episode. Wanda seems to be aware to a certain extent because she stopped Vision from questioning her, and we can assume she kicked out Geraldine from this fake world she's in.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, and I hope so at least, that Vision kind of sees what Wanda's doing and, like, confronts her about it. Like, hey, something's wrong, tell me, you know something. Like, what happened? And she's like, hey, you died twice. Oh, okay. Then leave it as it is. No, I don't know.
You're a figment of my imagination.
Yeah. No, but let's see what happens. I'm excited. And then I think I don't know if this is true, but I think even Peters is casted in this series.
I'm sorry, what?
Evan Peters.
What does he sound familiar?
He played Pietro in the X-Men movies.
Oh yes, got it.
So apparently he's casted in the series, but we don't know the character. So if that's true, it will be kind of cool if he's like another version of Pietro, because the multiverse of madness is going to be connected to the series. So
yeah, it's already madness.
It is madness, yeah.
But yeah, that was a good episode. Like we mentioned earlier, it was a bit slow, at first because we were like, I don't know, like it's still fun seeing them interact with each other because their chemistry is still great, their acting is great, their comedy is on point. But I guess after 2 and 3 episodes, it's like, okay, come on, let's give me something more.
Let's get there. We want to know what's happening. Give us some.
Yeah. And it did at the end. It was like, oh, okay, so the next episode we have to there has to be an extra thing, which will be in the 80s. But yeah, no, it's still enjoyable. Still excited about it, and that's all I gotta say. So that's about wraps up this episode. It's a little bit longer than last week, but again, we're just having fun. We're just here to have a good time, geek out for a minute, so we don't want to rush anything. We just want to get our thoughts out there, you know.
I think it was a good good flow.
And yeah, thank you so much for listening to this week's podcast, my dudes. Let us know what you thought of WandaVision, and if you have any theories, at our Instagram, which is That's What Geeks Do. Just follow us right there. That's where we're gonna have all the updates. We're gonna be sharing our thoughts and feelings sometimes, and we're gonna share things that are coming out that we're excited. And I just want to point out that we're not a news podcast. We're not here to share articles or be the first ones on the scoop or anything. We're just geeking out.
Yeah,
we see something and we want to share it. Yeah, and talk about it. So if there's ever a piece of entertainment that comes out and we don't talk about it, if you want us to talk about it, you can let us know. But otherwise, if we're not genuinely excited about it or interested, then we might not cover it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So follow us on Instagram. That's What Geeks Do. Thank you so much for watching.
For watching us.
Thank you so much for listening. My name has been Chris Lee.
My name is still Joktan.
See you all next week and stay gold.